Hey guys, back again. I'm going to do some more videos here for Let's Write a Novel. This one I'm recording on Halloween. I'm probably going to post it today, so happy Halloween everyone. And tomorrow we're going to be doing NaNoWriMo. That's going to kick off Sunday. I'm going to be working on Holy Ground, which is an S2E1 story. And we're going to see how far we can get with that. I hope you guys are doing NaNoWriMo, or some of you are at least writing something. But for today, I actually want to talk about The Mandalorian. Season 2, Episode 1 just came out. And it was good. I'm going to put that out there. There is almost nothing I didn't like about it. It is very much a classic Western. Exercises a lot of Western tropes and a lot of other tropes. Some of them are pretty old, pretty well used tropes, but that's okay because it works. And that's something that you need to remember when you're doing your writing, is that tropes are tropes for a reason. You know, they work. Doesn't necessarily mean you can get away with using them willy-nilly, but by and large, they exist to be used. Sometimes I will use them heavily in one of my books, and sometimes I will try to subvert them, and sometimes I'll try and stay away from them entirely. Kind of depends on what mood I'm in when I'm writing. Now, it's clear that the guys who are making The Mandalorian decided, you know, we're all in. We're going full in on these old classic Western tropes. And that actually works because Westerns haven't been really popular for, well, ever, to be honest. I know a lot of people are like, no, Westerns used to be super popular. Actually, they never were. Westerns rarely made money. The only reason that it's not that they didn't make money, they didn't make a lot of money. They were a safe bet because they were cheap to make. Even back in the day, the sort of people who like that kind of story actually don't tend to make up a huge portion of your viewing audience. And but that's starting to shift a little bit, and things like The Mandalorian are going to be at the forefront of moving that type of storytelling back over to the forefront, and I don't know, it could work. The particular tropes that we're talking about are going to be, you know, all the standard, the small ghost town with the one-man marshal and all that stuff. That's what shows up here. And as I said, everything worked, liked the entire story, just had one problem with it. And this is what it comes down to and why I decided to make it as a writing video. I might do these episode by episode, but then again, I might not have anything to say about some of them. But there was one issue that I wanted to bring up because it actually goes to the storytelling aspect of things. The episode was a really good mid-season filler episode. And there's only one problem. It's the season premiere. At the beginning of the story, they set up what they'd set up. They reset up what they had done at the end of season 1, which was the Mando is going around and he's trying to find the child's people. Okay, that's what they set up at the end of season 1. That's what they set up at the beginning of this episode. So far, no problem. It's just a little bit of a callback. That's fine. The problem shows up when you get to the end of the episode and you realize that the entire episode was a side quest. It didn't advance the main narrative at all. He didn't find out anything new. There was no change. Episode 2 is going to start off at exactly the same point as episode 1. There was no movement of the narrative. Now, for a series like this, that's actually fine. We often get these mid-season filler episodes because they generally have about a movie's worth of full plot on something like this, maybe a little bit more. If you go back and you look at season 1, there's maybe, out of 8 episodes, there's maybe 5 that account for actually moving the plot forward, and then there's like 3 that are just filler episodes, where they're doing more character building and world building and stuff like that. And again, that's completely fine. But it probably shouldn't be your first episode or your last episode. Those are 2 episodes where you should be moving the story forward. In the terms of writing a book, your first chapter should set the scene and move things forward a little bit, and your last chapter should wrap things up. In the middle, you can have these side quests that are character building and stuff like that, as long as you don't go too crazy with them. Now, there is a caveat to my criticism here, and that is the way they set it up is that, yes, it's Season 2, Episode 1, but it's Chapter 9. So they have clearly set this this narrative in play as if the entire series is just going to be one story, which does kind of that evades my criticism quite a bit. I still think my critique is valid because it is Season 2, Episode 1. And when you're pulling people in, you shouldn't be getting people trying to dip their toes in the water. You shouldn't be trying to like edge them into the water. You should be yanking them into the water full in the first season, in the first episode. So that's my only criticism of Season 2, Episode 1 of The Mandalorian. Otherwise, man, it was awesome. They had John Leguizamo and Timothy Oliphant, and a really nice cameo towards the end. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched it, but you might want to check it out. It's probably going to show up again. Definitely definitely sometime. I'm assuming this season we're going to see that play back into things. Really good special effects. We got to see a little bit more depth into the Star Wars Galaxy stuff we haven't seen in action before. A lot of people are going to like that. In many ways, it definitely cleared the bar that I expected of it. It just didn't blow my socks off, so to speak. Which, again, that's completely fine for a mid-season filler. For the first episode, I wanted to do more than clear the bar. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Tomorrow we're doing NaNoWriMo, and I'm writing Holy Ground. I'm going to try and put some daily updates, although I don't know if they're all going to be here on YouTube or what I'm going to be doing in that regard. If you guys have questions, put them in the comments below, and that'll give me fodder for other videos. In the meantime, happy Halloween again, stay safe, and keep writing.